as we get things underway. Not looking like we're going to see too much shenanigans coming out this time around in the level 1. I'm just seeing to see where this middle lane pairing's going, whether they're going to jump across. White Knight having to back away from that one. Nope, not going to get the resets on there. J-Ree, of course, trying to possibly throw out the hook, but they have no vision of Darien there, so it's going to be blind.
Yeah, for me, with a Blitzcrank, you're going to be looking to steal a buff. It's so easy to take them out of the camp themselves, and if you've got any kind of vision down, if you've got any idea where the jungle's starting, then you can generally, tie yourself up a buff early on. But it looks like Gambit are actually going to try and call Alternate out on this one, and they are within grab range right now. Alternate have no vision of it, though. But a ward over the top here could change that one very, very quickly. We'll see how fast J-Ree is. He's having to dance at the minute just to get warmed up for maybe a bit of pulling going on later. And, well, up until now, Alternate stands still.
But they have a good ward in place, and they're pinging it, and I'm pretty sure Alternate realise it's there, but they will be going across in a moment. They've got 20 seconds for that timer to count down, and almost certainly putting all their eggs in this blue basket to see where they can get it. Of course, we saw Diamond already putting some shots into that bush, expecting it to come, despite the fact they had vision there from the start. There they go, ping ward goes in, ward has been cleared out. Gambit immediately start to back away from this one. They realise the situation.
Yeah, pretty obvious that this was going to happen for me, and surprisingly enough, blue buff pulled over the wall there by J-Ree, and this is going to be the start for Alternate. You can see that Gambit on the top side have already started the counter invade for this one. I'm going to be going for that blue buff. Diamond is headed over there as well, so the way it looks at this point is a trade on those blue buffs. However, Curb and maybe even Lord are going to come over to have a go at this one, so might not be over just yet. There's the smite. Diamond going to take that one back, so in the end, buffs tied up at 1 apiece.
So this time around, no first blood on Diamond, and he does manage to get that first buff. So this is really where it started going wrong already for them against Fnatic. So we'll keep our eye on Diamond, see how well this Karma works out. It is, to my knowledge, the first Karma, certainly in the European LCS, but maybe even in China and Korea as well. Of course, those scenes, and maybe even the Brazil and Turkey tournaments that have been happening for the international events. If you haven't caught them, they will be, of course, taking part in Gamescom in the coming month. We are almost there. It's getting scarily close towards those playoffs right now, and the World Finals will follow. But the top lane, it's going to be Kerp in a 2v1 against Genja and Voidal. And Voidal, we'll see how Edward-esque he plays today.
Oh, RNA are actually charging up here to going on towards Alex. There's a claw coming in. Alex flashing away, but the damage is high. And there is first blood coming down for Alternate. And it was just a standard gank. There was nothing really special about that one. RNA are coming in from the side. Got that high mobility as Darien takes damage in the bottom as well. He's safe for now. But as I said, just a standard get in there and get the gank done. It was really well done by Alternate, though.
And you said it right there, the high mobility, the scariness that Lord and Aaron can close that gap so quickly. They both have great gap closers. The claw of doom, as I believe it is that you call it, coming out and putting the pressure down. Darien also got to be careful of these grabs that Jerry's doing. I can only assume that's what happened with the hit points being that low already, and that's where the pressure could be there. If Jerry just steps back, he could land the grab at any given time on Darien. He's got that slice and dice available. There's going to be the grab, has to use it to just dodge it.
Oh, Diamond actually up in the top lane there just to see if they could get that gank off. Fell pretty low, and he's not going to want to lose double buffs at this stage of the game. You've got to be careful for that one not to be coming down. But it looks like they are going to be able to force both Malphite and Vi a little bit further away from this one and put some early pressure down onto that turret.
See whether they do go for a quick turret, whether it's simply just harassing as much as they can. It's keeping RNA certainly busy as well, which is going to buy them time in the other lanes. Piercing arrow landing very nicely across Kerp and Aranea, forcing them both to back away from that one. And again, now we're seeing the poke coming out from Sona, causing problems. They're all forced to back away, and Gambit may keep pushing for this.
Yeah, and the great thing is as well with Diamond on this Karma, the fact is, even if you stand under the turret, the combination of, the inner flare and mantra to make the Soulfire come up gives that AoE underneath the turret, the extra damage from it as well. So you've got to be really careful about how long you actually stand around waiting and trying to defend that turret. You see there, Kerp straight back into lane, but can't really do much to stop this turret being hammered away at.
Well, they're putting a lot of time into it. You can see all of Diamond's jungle is up right now, apart from the 2 buffs. Actually saying that the blue buff is not up, but they didn't reset it. That's an interesting one. So they didn't take down the small column, so that's going to be respawning at some point later on. But there's a lot of time invested in here because you have the double buff, of course, and really want to get this tower down, it seems, Gambit.
Yeah, really putting a lot into that one. RNA himself having to stay up in this top lane, and See there, the Sona. Second time that we've seen Voidal play, and second time that he's running Sona as well. We talked about this yesterday, that Gambit really love Sona. They really like having that Sona in the team. And if Voidal really is anything like Edward, as he claimed in that video, and he won't mind playing Sona for the good of his team either. And so far, doing a really good job here of completely zoning Kerp out of that creep range and trying to keep him as low as they possibly can, forcing those minions onto the turret. And, well, as you can see, there's not much left of the turret itself, but this bottom lane, not exactly much left there as well, as Darian comes out. Jerry actually going to be stunned up here, and now Diamond coming in. He's going to have to flash out away from the tether, and we'll see if they can actually chase in for this one. Vi actually nowhere near to stop that one from happening, but in the end, Gambit not going too deep.
A lot of pressure on there, and he did have the mana shield, his passive available, which is why I don't think Diamond went flashing in for that one, but certainly very dangerous play from Aranea around this backside though. Diamond is there, and they're trying to camp out, and Diamond's realised, oh no, damn it, I forgot to clear out these things, so we're not going to have blue buff for a long time, and now Aranea goes aggressive on him. Diamond immediately backing away from them. That was the top turret just going down, so first turret of the game has gone. It was Gambit that put so much time into getting it.
And look at that as well, Aranea, sneaky Spaniard, actually left that last small lizard up in the camp. It's still not down, so it's not going to be spawning for them anytime soon here. Alternate with 4 men down on the bottom side of the river. This is their dragon. Nothing going to be able to stop them with that one. I think Darian has actually just realized that camp wasn't cleared out, so that's going to be finished. But Alternate get the dragon from it now. They're approaching a 1,000 gold lead.
Yeah, that's a big turnaround, and at the moment Aranea doing a good number over on Diamond. And to be fair, Diamond did pay a lot of credit to Aranea back in Moscow as well, if you recall, in his interviews. So he said he called him the Spanish Lee Sin, the Spanish, yeah, it was the Spanish Lee Sin.
Spanish insect.
Spanish insect, that was the one. Effectively the same thing. Although insects in the top lane these days are not quite the same. But blue buff is going to be invaded. Alternate want to come around for this one. Diamond does have his smite available should they require it, and I think he may well use it. We did see Alex Hitch slowly coming across, but it's not going to happen. Used the smite again and managed to take it away, which kind of doesn't surprise me. Karma with blue buff is kind of handy in the jungle.
Yeah, very nice indeed. And the thing is, that blue buff on the Gambit side is not coming up for a little while still. Obviously, they did finish it off themselves, so they know exactly when that's going to come in. They're going to want to control that here and stop Alternate, you know, switching that back around them and really leveling things up when it comes to that blue buff control. Alex actually pushing a big wave out, and funnily enough, despite his death, he's really close in there with minions and actually has got a level advantage over Forellan Lord as well.
Yeah, but Darian, he's doing a good job in this bottom lane. He's kept hold of the turret, which has been harassed for a very long time by Alternate. He's also managed to get that level advantage now. You can see he's just hit level 7, used his ultimate to clear out that wave. Actually, with the rest of Gambit coming round, where is he going to go here? They're maybe going to try and sneak around. They caught a glimpse of White Knight and Jerry in the bush, and now Darian is coming around, doesn't have his ultimate available, so kind of unwise to stick around. Not really sure what he's playing at. He's just causing pressure for Alternate. He's going to have to get him towards that top lane, but as I said, he's managed to build himself a level advantage over Kerp, because Kerp was zoned out in that top lane. In terms of CS, he's got a big advantage over him as well, so he wants to get it back in towards that top lane as quick as possible, but it seems Gambit actually have different ideas. They maybe want to shove this turret down as quick as possible.
Yeah, it looks to me as like they want that as well. 3 men there. We're actually going to see the pull coming out. Genja in the turret range actually had to flash. Here comes Diamond as well from the side. Jerry took a lot of damage there, and Gambit might have done enough with that to force them out. We can see Forellan Lord here headed down through the Alternate side of the jungle, and they may try and turn this one around. Voidal not level 6 yet, so there's no crescendo available for him, but in the end, they'll just back away from it.
Yeah, trying to force the pressure down. Alex Hitch actually didn't leave lane, had no intention of, and that maybe bought him a little bit of time to try and regroup and get some farm back on Forellan Lord, because he's being left alone, despite the fact neither have had blue buff so far either. Kerp in this top lane, he's getting a lot of free time as well on his minions. And I mentioned how much of an advantage that Darian had built up. That's kind of falling away already. Now it looks like Alternate going aggressive.
Yeah, teleport coming in. Kerp actually going right down. Genja is in so much trouble. Finished off there by Kerp, who in the end didn't even bother with that unstoppable force. Had it off cooldown, but decided they didn't need to use it in that scenario. He picks up a kill, which is really going to help him for that top lane. And Alternate might be able to completely switch this one around and get a turret. Well, I mean, it's very low anyway, so Minions will do that on their own. One hit in the end will finish that one off. So nice pushback from Alternate and being able to pick up the kills. And there is the Malphite teleport again. Super deadly when you don't realize those wards are behind you.
Yeah, and that was just off cooldown, and he used it immediately to create that advantage. But, as we were saying with Kerp in that top lane, it's given Darien some free time. They're not going to mind, though. They have got that turret down that's going to make things all even. And in terms of gold, you can see Alternate have built themselves up that advantage. The fact that they got those 2 kills and the Dragon giving them that advantage in terms of lanes, still pretty even. 65-66 to the AD carries, so pretty close there. The mid lane it's a 10 CS difference, not a massive amount. Alex fell behind a little bit of that, but it doesn't surprise me. Alessandro versus Kassadin, going to expect him to farm out quicker. And we talked about Darien at the start. You know, sometimes he'll absolutely feed at the start, sometimes he'll do great, and it really does dictate how the game completely goes the whole way. And so far, hasn't been in too much trouble.
No, certainly hasn't, but that might change right now. We've got Aranea coming up to this top side. He's actually avoided the ward that Darien put down before. He is going to come in there, pummels him down, but will they be able to finish it for this one off? Darien pops his ultimate. It's going to slice his way out of there, and he will stay safe for that. The ultimate obviously used, as we see Frelnor putting down the claw. I mean, as an AD carry, you just see that claw coming. You're like, nope, I am getting away from that one. Do not want to play, and decides to back away. But Alternate have, again, 3 men there, and they've got that great thing in the Blitzcrank hook as well, that they can pull someone out from underneath those towers that they're trying to protect.
And they're buying themselves some time, but look at this. Look at this. Genja. He's built differently again at last, finally.
Oh, my days.
He's not gone for the tier on Varus. He has gone straight for the BF sword, so finally he's not going to be putting on that, despite the fact he likes to play them all as caster champions, basically. But the pressure on this mid turret is pretty big here from Alternate. They may well take it down. We do see Voidal going in. Still hasn't got Crescendo available. The hook just flashing past the backside of Diamond's cape and not managing to land. It does mean they're going to back away, and it's all buying time for Alex in this bottom lane. He needs to get that farm rolling.
And he's doing exactly that. I mean, Alternate have 3 or 4 guys around that area, so they're going to be naturally sharing that farm to get rid of it, as we are going to see Aranea going in there on towards Diamond, but you see the damage. Tether comes down, piercing arrow comes in away. Aranea has to flash from that one, and Gambit doing a really great job of turning that one around. There's a hook from Jerry, just skimming by Diamond. They will stay safe and forcing Aranea out, almost taking him down.
Yeah, Darien was so close to getting that ignite down. He tried to get the slice and dice across, but Aranea flashed the second he got there. We do see, of course, Alex sneaking around that backside. He thought he could maybe pick up a kill. Spotted in the wraith. Looks like Gambit are going to try and collapse onto this turret. He's going to rift walk across the moment he sees any opportunity. Look at the poke difference there. Piercing arrow, followed by the... it's not the solar flare, it's the inner flame. That's the one coming out from Diamond. The Q effectively managing to land, doing that damage. It's a bursty combo that did half the hit points to Frelnor. That's a jungler and the AD carry doing half the hit points to your AP mid. That's dangerous.
Yeah, very dangerous, and they need to be careful. There's Diamond going to get pulled into this one. He did actually flash, but he flashed completely weirdly there. Went back towards the lane, and that will be a free kill almost coming out. Props to Jerry. We've seen him miss 2 or 3 of the last hooks that he's thrown out there, but we say it often enough. It only takes one to turn things around.
Absolutely. Fantastic hook there. Hadn't really landed anything in the lane phase either, so I wasn't exactly sure how to rate Jerry's Blitzcrank, but that was fantastic. Look at Alex Hitch, though. He's waiting in the wings to put some damage down instead. Just backs away. It will be Alternate taking the mid turret. That's going to be the second one of the game.
Really nicely done by them. Gambit, of course, have one of their own in that top lane. But we see now, Alternate headed down. That's because the Dragon is up. Gambit, didn't see it go down, so they're going to be working a little bit blindly off spawn times here, and they're coming down one by one. We see Darien just outside of it there, not going to be able to stop that one being picked up, and Alternate looking like they're going to make a swift back away from that one, and that will be the second one of the game, and it's 3,500 gold already. That is building up very quickly here for Alternate.
Yeah, going to be interested to see how it goes between these two teams. Of course, Alex is going to be looking at assassinating. Again, just going to be staying at the back. He generally has great positioning in the team fight, so he's got the Crescendo to defend him, and Diamond's also going to have good defensive capabilities to keep Genja safe. And Darien, he's going to be the man diving in there. And how that's going to work, because Kerp's going to be diving one way, Darien's going to be diving the other. I don't really know who's going to win, because Alternate have a heavy dive comp. Frelnor, Aranea, Kerp, they could all pile in. They could get a hook. Someone, whoever gets caught out, will die instantly from Alternate. The question is how they follow it up after that.
Yeah, that's going to be the big thing. And Kerp's unstoppable forces, as we always see from Malphite, have got to be right on the mark here for this one, which I don't expect anything less from Kerp, to be honest. The way that he's played so far here in this summer split, as Forellenlord actually catching out Voidal here. That is complete mispositioning, uses Crescendo, flashes away. He's actually going to survive this one, funnily enough, but lost all his health, used that Crescendo out. Forellenlord did use his ultimate, but he'll probably take that trade.
He may well take that trade. Forellenlord again walking through the tri-bush, pinging on towards him. Gambit again being focused on this time around, though. Diamond is there to help him out. Darian does get stunned up, but he's happy to fight this one through. Takes down Forellenlord. Kerp's going to be the next focused target. And just you see the burst potential that was there. That was Alternate trying to set up their gank and backfired horribly.
Yeah, Spirit of the Spectral Wraith being built up there as well for Diamond. And that's something they need to be wary of, that Diamond can do a lot of damage at this point already. And you just saw it there. We saw it earlier on underneath the turret when Forellenlord took probably far too much than he was hoping. And Kerp even being chased down here. Diamond got no leash on him, but that won't actually do too much for him. But it may just force him away and give Darian and Diamond time to have a go at the turret. Yeah,
they're going to keep putting the pressure down. Kerp does get the help from J-Ree, and they are backing away from this one. They have actually no vision, but what is going on in this bottom lane? Alex Ich is a long way down, and actually coming around the side is White Knight. Alex may well go straight towards him. No, happy to continue just farming between them. Now he's going to try and put a little combo. Dodges out of the way of that bookshot nicely and keeps the pressure on them, but neither of these actually going for a crazy trade against one of these. Every time that Null Sphere gets thrown out, he just backs away, not going for the full combo, and he's just buying time because here comes Aranea. He's going to come around the side. He's waiting for Forellenlord to join him as well, and Alex may well be baited into this one, Joe.
Yeah, he's going to have to rift walk very well from this one, but I'm not sure he's going to manage it as Aranea follows through with the ulti, max range. And that's the danger with the Rift Walk. If you're in range, he's going to follow you straight through. And now Voidal here being chased down. Hook going to grab him. He's going to get knocked up in the air. The ulti comes out. Forellenlord here is coming in from the side as well. And that's another kill for Alternate. Forellenlord picks that one up. But here come the rest of Gambit. Aranea just about... No, he's not going to get away from that one. There comes the ultimate out of Genja as well. But the teleport from Kerp comes around. This is a crazy little fight. Darian out of position as he gets locked up by Forellenlord. Hooked back in from J-Ree. Where's the knockup? He's actually been chased down. Darian getting a kill from that one, but he will in the end fall down, and that will be a 4-for-1 for Alternate there.
And if the rest of his team maybe would have come in support Darian, I think they could have turned that one around. He put a lot of damage down on towards the rest of Alternate, but they'd already backed away. Obviously the hook didn't help on towards him, but if Genja would have got involved there, that could have turned around. Diamond taken very low already, Unstoppable Force not landing. That's going to go down, so Kerp now could throw out the Chain of Corruption. Hasn't got it available quite yet. It is on cooldown to tell a lie, so there's not going to go out. Alex Ich is continuing to chase. They have a good harass team to chase them down with Alex and Diamond, but instead they let them go.
Messy stuff. And I think it was a 3-for-1, by the way, not a 4-for-1. I called that one wrong. With Alex being already respawning by the time that fight actually ended. That's how long it went on. You see Genja there pushing out that mid lane, decided not to go any further with things, though. Didn't want to be caught out and giving a kill over to anyone if he could help it. Let's have a look now while we've got, hopefully here, a few seconds to break down some items. And AD carries in particular, because White Knight now at 3-0-1. Similar CS, in fact, almost bang even with that of Genja. Bloodthirster, Zeal in there as well. On the other side, just the BF Sword and Vamp Scepter really finished off for Genja.
Yeah, but look at the top lanes. This is an actual big advantage for Darian in terms of CS over Kerp, and he's putting the pressure on him, which is why, again, we're seeing Forellenlord coming up here, and it's going to be a 2v1. Another dive onto Darian, pops that ultimate. Has he got enough in his tank this time around? Diamond is coming in, so he just needs to delay them, but Aranea is also heading off. Alex Ich also heading up. Everybody coming in towards his top lane, being drawn in towards his fight, but the moment Alex passed that ward, everybody stepped away from Alternate.
Yeah, but Darian actually coming back into this one. Interestingly enough, they're going to keep going head-to-head, but there is Diamond from the side. Look at the damage on Forellenlord. Uses his ultimate on himself, but he's not going to escape this one. Darian picks up that kill, and now the chase is on. Kerp's got no tower. He's got no friendlies there to be helping him out. He has to flash away over to the tri-bush. Diamond trying to just catch him over the side with that inner flame, which didn't quite have the range, and that will be a nice kill back for Gambit. Very patient stuff from Darian, but baited completely alternate there. I mean, that for me should have been fairly obvious that something was going to happen.
And also important there, Alex, it's the first blue buff of the game he's actually been able to get. So we'll see how he makes use of that. He is about to go back and buy a Rod of Ages, I believe, will be coming out from him. He's just stepping back. Boots of Lucidity coming out for Darian, so interesting. Stacking up there. Oh, he hasn't quite got enough for that Rod of Ages yet. He went for the Source Boots instead, so he wants that mobility to get around. So Alex still lacking a little bit in terms of build compared to the likes of Pharrell, who's already got that Abyssal set to complete. An alternate, well, they're setting up for that Dragon once again, the third one of the game.
And the thing about Alex is behind completely in the farm early on. Naturally, as he scales things up, it's really caught up and has got a healthy lead even right now. Is that Dragon going low? Gambit actually coming in from around the side of this one. Kirk going to get tied up. They're going to go through.
They're going to go for Kerp. Are they going to be enough, though? The Crescendo didn't really do a great deal. There's a good chain of corruption, but the unstoppable force comes out and finds his target. Arane, though, he's getting focused. He gets cut down. Diamond picks that one up. It's a nearly 3-for-1. As soon as they Kerp, how the hell he got away with that one, I don't know. Got away and absolutely nothing, and it was a 2-for-1 trade. It looks like Gambit, though, they're going to turn into the middle and take themselves the mid turret.
They need to. I mean, losing Dragon from that one, yes, they got the kills with it, but they need to push some objectives at this stage as well. They're 3,300 gold behind from this one, and this turret's going to help a whole lot for that one. We can see how many wards were put down by Dragon for that last fight, and that will give a bit of a boost back towards Gambit, who, you know, we can't even call this match, in my opinion, so far in favor of alternate, because now Gambit against that stage where Alex is going to be farming a lot more. We know him as a very prolific farmer, and that gold difference that we have is going to be caught up very quickly.
It is indeed. And gotta give credit to Darian. Look at him now. 4-1-1, 149 CS to 105. Big advantage gained. He's over 1,000 gold ahead of Kerp. And this is Kerp, who's played magnificently throughout the split. He's 1-0-1, so he's not doing a lot wrong himself. But Darian's playing well. We've said it at the start. He either plays great or he's not so good.
Or not so great. Yeah, I mean, he's a player who he gives up pretty easy, I think. When it comes to falling behind in the early game, we saw... I can't remember exactly which match it was where he played the Vladimir and was just off farming while his inhibitors were being attacked from that one. So he's very much a moody player, I think we can safely say there. But seems to be in the mood for it today, and that's only a good thing for Gambit, as Harane headed up towards that top lane. They've actually spotted him there. The ping came down onto that tri-bush. In fact, the entire team seems to be collapsing in from alternate. They want a tower back.
They want a tower back, and it's going to be the top turret. It's the only outer turret left for alternate to get down, which is why they've put so much pressure onto this one. The rest of alternate have reacted, though. Alexic is just backing away down that bottom. He's got himself home guard boots to go with that Rod of Ages. There's the turret. They're just happy with that one. Look at Darian. He's not like, no, you're not going to back off. Tries to buy the time, pulls out the ultimate, tries to bait them in there. Now the rest of Gambit are going to collapse on towards this one, Joe.
He's tanky enough as well now with that Spirit Visage in there, as well as he gets locked up by Pharrell. But this fight is not over just yet. Gambit have got good mobility as the pull comes in onto Diamond. That's going to start the fight up completely. Aranea up in Diamond's face as Darian gets exhausted, taking a lot of damage. Diamond here going very, very low, but he's still alive. Actually manages to kill. Look at White Knight. He's in the wrong place. Pharrell goes down. Kerp now got 5 men on him. He's not escaping this one. Are they going to push through for an ace? Jay Reed's the last man alive, still healthy, but wide push for the ace. You can turn around here and go for that Baron.
Well, Jay Reed thought about actually coming in there. He thought about, I need to try and interrupt them as much as possible. Get Gambit. They countered that brilliantly, and again, it was Darian that started off. He was the tank, the force that went through the midline, started off the fight, went straight in up against them 5v1. They hooked in Diamond. He flashed out of it instantaneously and turned that fight around, and then Alex coming in with them home guard boots at the start. A great chain of corruption as well from Genja there. Can't underestimate that one. It seemed to land and find its home. And for Unlord, he only locked up one person in that fight. Really needed to be looking at gathering everyone up there. Just managed to lock up just Darian, and that's not really the target you're looking for, despite the fact he is a juicy target. You would get that big shutdown bonus, but you need to be looking at going towards Diamond, Alex, or Genja in that fight. And it's nice squishy targets, or Voidal, who landed a fantastic, fantastic ultimate in that fight.
Yeah, and that was the problem for Pharrell. He hit Darian with the W to stop him chasing through. Didn't actually use his ultimate in that fight, which... You have to wonder. I mean, it's a free Zhonya's, if nothing else, before he went down. And I think that's why he was quite surprised at how quickly he ended up getting bursted in that fight. Not able to get his ulti off in time to really have any say on that. But as I was saying, you know, Gambit are going to slowly but surely claw back. As it happened, wasn't quite so slowly, but definitely surely. 35.4 to now 34.4. So they find themselves with a 1,000 gold lead and the Baron buff on, which means these next coming moments are going to be hard for Alternate to stay in.
And looking at Diamond, he's no longer a straight jungler. He's become a second AP champion, a terror from the jungle as well. No longer, obviously, not going to have the support. They're not going to have a runic bulwark, it seems, at the moment. Gambit, not really anyone building towards that one, so they're happy to go without that, but they have a lot of damage to be dealt out. Alex is going to come up this top lane. You can see him speeding in there with his home guard boots, while the rest of Gambit, they start to stack down that mid lane and see if they can try and catch someone out once again.
Well, let's see. Alex is going to push out that top, and well, if that keeps pushing through, we could see them going. Actually, Aranea, knowing that Alex is in that top side, is actually going to go through. They're going to go for Voidal. There's Kirk coming through with the unstoppable force. Another great crescendo. They're going to try and turn this around once again. Darian right in the middle of the pack as they snipe Aranea. Can't quite get the finishing blows as Darian taking a ton of damage, but again, it's just not enough. That was everything that White Knight could throw at him. The collateral damage and everything. There is the tankiest man of the team, Kirk, who's been chased down, flashed away. Alex goes in, and he's just one more hit onto him. There we go with an ult sphere to finish things off. And now they back away. They're happy with that 1-for-0. And they can even stick around here and go for those turrets. But again, Darian in the middle of the pack, so dangerous that Alternate had to turn and run. And it was a 4v5 when that started.
Crazy play to me, that one. Alternate, they went aggressive, and they went aggressive against a team that just picked up Baron. Why would you do that in open battle? You need to just sit back, and it kind of backfired on them. They're going to lose the turret, which they may well have done anyway, but that was dangerous, dangerous play. And again, we see Darian zipping straight in there, taking all the damage, bursting it through, and every time he does that, he buys time for Diamond and Genja and Alex to just be sniping away at range.
Yeah, it's so very tanky right now with that Spirit Visage in there, with that Sunfire Cape, got a second Giant's Belt as well. So he's done a fantastic job so far this game. Way ahead in CS of Kirk, way ahead in kills at 5-1-3. There's another Dragon coming down for Gambit as well, and they're currently sat on a 3,000 gold. I say another Dragon for Gambit. That actually was their first one of the game, the first one that they managed to actually have any control of course, as Alternate have done a good job of doing that, but you can see when it comes to these fights that Gambit most clearly have an edge on them.
Yeah, and they've turned the game around really on its head, because they were, what, 4,000 behind at one point. Now they're a good 3,000 ahead. They've managed to swing it completely in their favor, and in terms of items and champions, it seems to be swinging their way. Gambit have done a fantastic job, and I talked about Runic Bulwark not having it. Diamond's like, no, I'll get that now. I'm going to just buy an Aegis pretty much outright after that battle. Of course, he picked up a bunch of kills. So 3-1-6 so far on Karma from the jungle. All the doubters he had yesterday, everybody is saying, has Diamond lost the plot? Well, why the hell would we ever question this guy? Because so many times he innovates and brings things out. This team has brought out so many new things to League of Legends throughout the last 2 years. It never surprises me when we see something new, and I really will never ever question it, unless it's Genja using Tear of the Goddess on Varus.
Which, by the way, he's not doing here today. So someone's had a stiff word with him and said, look, Genja, I hate to break it to you, but it probably wasn't the most viable item before the tier was changed, but certainly now it's not going to be. So, well, he's shied away from this one, going more of a standard build, which is something we're not used to really saying when it comes to Genja, but he is fulfilling that support AD carry that he does a lot at 0-1-8 right now, not being in picking up the kills, but has been instrumental in getting those 10 kills that they have right now. As we see Alex here from the side, are Gambit going to go for this one? There's the ulti being used on Alex, but because he'd Riftwalk, he got the stun, but was outside of the damage. Crazy stuff there, which, for Unload basically wasting that ultimate for that one.
Lightning reactions, flash straight afterwards as well, and this is Gambit without Baron. They don't care. They're still going to siege down this turret. Baron has run off, and ordinarily you'd see the teams just back away, but we've talked about the aggression that Gambit do show from time to time. Double slice and dice coming out from Darian, really trying to get straight through in towards them, and they have got themselves another inner turret. 5-3 in inner turrets right now. 2 of them going down. The mid one as well went down a moment ago, and Gambit are not done yet. They're still going.
They're still going, and Alternate have to stop this at some point. They have to put up some kind of fight, otherwise they're going to get put so far behind that they can't actually react to this one. The problem that they have, of course, is that team fights, when they've gone in these 5 versus 5s or even 5 versus 4 as that one in the middle was, they've come out on the sour end of that deal. So they need to be really careful about what fights they're picking from this one. We can see the blue buff has respawned there. Gambit, they'll look like they're going to be backing them. I'm imagining that they've sat on quite the stack of gold right now. Yeah, and that Baron is up in a minute's time, so they're going to be well aware of that timing. Let's see what they go back to buy there. So there's going to be a chunk of items coming out, all for Gambit, all popping into view in a moment. Void Staff being picked up by Alex Ich. A Warmog's being picked up by Darian as well. So some big items. There's the Runic Bulwark being completed as well by Diamondpricks. And we're just waiting for Genji. I guess he'd be the last one to go back. Bam! Infinity Edge from a pickaxe. Sure. Yeah, as I said, a lot of gold for Gambit before they went back from that one. And well, you don't have to be a genius to realize how much of a change that's going to make to these next fights coming in from that one. That Void Staff out of Alex, it's going to be absolutely deadly for them. Baron up in 15 seconds, and honestly, Alternate got no ward coverage of the immediate area there at Baron. They put the wards that they had around that blue buff to make sure that they could actually get in there for the first time in quite a while. But they've got no vision of the Baron, and Gambit may just be able to take this one. Yeah, they're in a much stronger position. You know, they were happy to just bully them on the tower a moment ago, and the fact that they've just gone back and got such a big power-up, there's no way they're going to be fearing or shying away from this fight, but they are going to get Darian hooked in. Is that really the one they want, though? Because the rest of the team follow through. There's Alex's Riv walking away. Darian happy to just pop his ultimate and take a face tank effectively all the damage. We're going to have to see Kirby. He's going to have to back off here or teleport in because the rest of his team are getting chased down. Genji wasn't really with the fight, though, so Gambit couldn't follow through on that one, but it does force Alternate back away again. RNA are actually going straight through. He's going to walk over the top of the ward, but he's like, guys, we need to at least check what's going on over there. In the end, he's got no wards to put down anyway as Darian comes in from the side. RNA saying, nope, don't want any part of that one. And Gambit once again turn around towards Baron. We see the Voidal there having a check through. And now that the Oracle range has been changed, by the way, you have to go a little bit deeper into that Baron pit to actually check if there's anything being put down at the back, which is what he was just doing. We saw Alex go down to the bottom lane to clear things out. And Gambit, Alternate here are moving in towards Baron. Kerp still has that teleport up. Yeah, Alex, within a millisecond of catching Kerp, he was trying to teleport back in the bush. And a sort of force pulse in there on the mini-map, but he just didn't quite catch him. I think the damage went through, but not just in time. Alex is Riff walking away from the hook there, but now we see Darian once again, that big brick of a tank going through at the front and taking all the damage. He has took half the health off, though. Now we see Alex catching on towards White Knight. Everybody pops through. Unstoppable Force was used, but honestly not to a great effect. Chain of Corruption fantastically fired and layered on with a crescendo. Absolute immaculate team fight there from Gambit, and they walk away with a 3-for-0. And it's almost certainly going to be another Baron. Before this game, I said I'm not sure how Genja and Voidler really working together. That right there was perfect from both of them. Chain of Corruption came in there in the right position. The crescendo hit 3 men as it came through. Darian does not care about anything right now as we just see him go in there. Even managed to get away from the hook. And this is going to be the second Baron of the game coming in for Gambit. Nothing that Alternate can do about that one. Yeah, and looking at Gambit, they're all laughing and joking. Big smiles on Voidal's face and Alex Hitch there. They're very happy with how that all worked out. What got me was Genja fired that Chain of Corruption through the bush, through the trees, and completely from the other side. It caught perfectly. Sometimes it doesn't work out, but when it does, it looks fantastic. And Alternate now feeling strong. Look at this, though. We're going to see Voidal coming around the corner with a bit of a surprise. Seeing the Dragon in there. He's actually going to put pressure on RNA. He's not too worried. Considering he's on his own, miles away, he's just putting the pings down, and he's actually fighting on towards RNA. RNA is tanking this one up. He does manage to get it down. That keeps the pressure on towards him, though. Really nice harassment there from Voidal, as much harassment as you can really do at this stage of the game to the vibe. But no, RNA knew he had to be right with the smite there, because you never quite know. Q coming out of Voidal in that scenario after he's failed the smite could have actually been the steal. So props to RNA where he's deserved. And you wouldn't live that one down either. You would never live that one down. That would be all over Reddit multiple times, that video being posted. So Gambit right now, Baron buff on, charging down that mid lane. Gonna be hard for Alternate to hold on. Yeah, they have a minion wave coming in the moment.
We do see Alternate. They have a lot of wave clear potential. A bookshot for Ellenlord as well. Oh, for Ellenlord took one burst there from Diamond, and it chunked a third of his health off. Diamond doing a hell of a lot of damage already. Piercing arrow landing through as well, but they have good wave clear Alternate, and that's what's keeping them off the inhibitor turrets just now for at least the time being. But I'm not too sure Gambit, after seeing their shenanigans already when they've just piled straight onto turrets without the Baron, I don't think they're going to be kept at bay too long.
No, I don't think so either. And Darian, he, as I said earlier, just doesn't care about going in there. He gets a speed boost, dives straight in right on top of them. And they're going to keep going through from this one. There's the Unstoppable Force actually hitting 3 members. Darian actually finally going low from this as Alex Ich takes a lot of damage. 4-man crescendo comes out from Voidal. But where's the damage to follow up? There is a Chain of Corruption coming through. For Ellenlord going down, sniped off by Genja in the end. They're not done just yet here, Gambit. They've got no minions actually coming in on towards that turret. Genja going to be the one to tank it up, but it's only going to get 2 or 3 hits off onto him before that's taken down. And the first inhibitor of the game is going to fall here for Gambit.
And again, just brilliant crescendo, brilliant Chain of Corruption, everything landing as it should. And all that being harassed and backed up, and you see the snipes, everything comes out on top. Gambit really are firing on all cylinders today. So many times we see different teams from day to day from Gambit. One day they're absolutely impeccable, perfectly playing. The next day, you don't know, you just think, what's just happened overnight? But it seems today that it is the strong Gambit. And remember, they're 2-0 up over Alternate already. They could be taking it to 3 and joining themselves back on towards that top of the table against Fnatic and Lemon Dogs.
And look down the scoreboard here once again, 5-1-6 for Darian. Again, getting completely involved in that fight, getting straight in there to the point where he's like, guys, I think we're going to have to start doing some damage here because I'm kind of dying from this one, as they try to really lock him up in the mix of that. But just such great positional play out of Gambit. And let's not forget that this game started with Alternate having a 3,500 gold lead, which has been completely turned on its head. Alternate actually pushing out from this one, and Darian's like, I got my ulti back, I'm going in for this one. Where's the rest of my team? A little bit far back, but I'm going to chase Alternate off.
Yeah, they thought they'd caught Gambit all backing off there. Teleport even came out from Kerp into the mid lane. They thought, we're going to have to rush, get something here. Alternate desperately trying to push out from that base up against the Super Minions, but Darian had other ideas. He hadn't completely backed off. He was still sticking around, still farming up. They did manage to get a blue buff for Ellenlord there, I believe, which will keep the cooldown going, but look at this. It's just Darian's going to tank it up. He's not really too worried about the damage that this turret's going to do to him, and still with that Baron buff just almost running out. There we go. It's just finally timed out. They've managed to take a great deal with it.
It's looking right now like Gambit are going to keep this winning run against Alternate alive. Of course, 2-0 coming into this game. We'll see if that actually changes out as the hook landed onto Alex there again, showing his reactions to actually riff walk at the exact time that hook landed onto him, gets himself out of any danger, and he's shown that today twice now. The ultimate from Ellenlord earlier obviously was the real big one that he riff walked away from to get the stun but avoid all of the damage coming out. And Gambit, they're just biding their time here, at least all except Darian, who's biding no time. He's going straight in there for this one, actually going to go in towards Aranea. Now he goes over towards Jerry. There's a crescendo. Didn't really hit anyone this time around. Unstoppable Force coming in. Chain of Corruption already being used off there, as we will see for Ellenlord getting the kill on towards Alex Ich, but the damage is just too high here coming out of Gambit. Who are they going to turn on to next? Look at the Nexus turret, by the way. The Super Minions have been hammering away on that one. They managed to finish off the first one. They got Super Minions coming in again as Aranea ultis himself in on towards Genja. They're not too worried about that. They return damage onto Ellenlord as snipes come through. Inhibitor is down. I think that might be all she wrote for this push for Gambit.
Yeah, they're going to back away, it seems. They do have Super Minions in the middle there. Void will get caught out. Didn't avoid that one, did he, Joe? But he does manage to not go down, so he manages to escape. They're going to see the Claw of Doom on towards Darian. Will he finally get killed? Yes! 500 gold goes to Kerp. The shutdown bonus eventually comes in, but he is 626. And, well, they don't really care, because Super Minions take down the second Nexus turret, and Alternate are simply on cleanup duty, while Gambit go back and spend their gold.
Yeah, and spend pretty much their millions. 4,000 gold almost here for Genja. And he went back and bought an Infinity Edge right out last time. This time, not quite going the same route. Obviously, did pick up that last Whisper in there with a Negatron cloak. We've got the Locket in there. We can see that almost the Athene's Unholy Grail is done for Voidal in this one. sometimes those hooks, as you said, 2 games in a row, almost right at the end, those hooks have been a little bit unavoidable.
Absolutely. Genja, though, he's got himself that Fortitude pot now as well. That's what he picked up, another item. And, well, Gambit are strong right now. Dragon's up in 11 seconds, but I don't think they care about that one. The fact that all three inhibitors are down does mean the double super minis will be piling down all of those lanes. You can see the big, long lines tanking their way through. Gambit, they are coming along with that mid lane. Look at that. More of the Malmortius now being picked up by Darien as well. He's got damage on top of resistance. Aranea caught out of position. Alexic is going to come in. Riftwalk and Null Sphere does take half his hit points down there. That's a lot of damage considering he's one of the main tanks for them.
Yeah, that's worrying as well. I mean, they got 2 Lockets in here now as well, alternate, just trying to outlast the damage that Gambit can do to them as they start to move in once again. There's the ult one towards Alexic. He's just going to Zhonya's away from all that damage. Pharrell Lord goes down. This could well be it. Alexic's taking a lot of damage, but they've not got enough to finish off. Aranea will fall afterwards. Kerp going to be the next focus as we see the snipe coming straight through. Nexus are going to be focused down, and that is Gambit